Hello. 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 What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm talking to myself again, but hey, got more videos to watch. All right, so first video is going to be a Soldier Sage video on the most ridiculous NBA TikTok takes. I mean, I feel like the title is pretty self-explanatory. Let's just get into it. Alfredo, I'm already staring at something that's already kind of crazy, but let me hear bro out.
A lot of MJ when he was 40.
Say what I think you about to say so I could back you up.
Yeah, he a bust Bron ass right now.
Rest
Yeah.
Lord.
Here we go.
Bron. And twice the defender too.
And the whole time be telling Brian
At
how
40?
whack his shoes are.
Old MJ cooking Bron right now.
You know what is one thing that I cannot.
That's why the nigga had to retire twice, right? Bron been playing 20 straight years. All I'm saying. MJ only played 15 years. It should have been 20.
Stand that I'll admit, because I think a lot of people think that sometimes I don't fuck with basketball. I do. But you know what I cannot stand is when y'all play the waiting game to hate on people. And this is one of the moments where, gang, first of all, LeBron drops 39 the next night. This is out the window. He's back to being still top 10, still top 15. I mean, you still top 5, all these other things. But he had a bad stretch. No shit. However, do I think LeBron James is that bad of a player right now? Absolutely not.
No.
Furthermore, I don't think this take is going to age like wine at all. I think LeBron James is clearly a better player, a talent than old MJ was at this point in his career.
Yeah,
obviously, there's a point in time where Michael Jordan at some age in his career is better than this LeBron today. No shit. Hell, you could argue LeBron was never better. Ooh. But my God, it's just crazy that y'all waited for the worst week of LeBron, arguably ever, to be like, yep, now old MJ's better. Come on, y'all.
I'm not about to cape. All right.
Oh
Listen,
no.
You are twisting this innocent man's words. Okay.
What?
He never said that old MJ is better than Bron. He just said old MJ would cook Bron. And
He wouldn't do that either.
I think you're underrating Wizards MJ here a little bit, man. I'm talking about
You're underrating current Bron. That's all I got to say on that.
a one-on-one, okay, scores 28-18. You wouldn't say MJ cooked Bron in that instance? 21-18, my bad.
Yeah. I think LeBron wins that game, but I mean, do I think LeBron's defense is fantastic or let alone on a night-to-night basis good? Absolutely not. But I do think LeBron's just better. So at this point in his career, he's just still somehow better. I don't think I'm underestimating old MJ here. Old MJ wasn't caca unless you're talking about the literal last season, I guess. Dick move though. Nah, man. I think he would definitely score on him. I don't think it's a LOL get cooked plus ratio Bron 21-0s. No, but Bron.
Look at B-Soul's face. He not listening. He trying to say something devious. He trying to get something nasty off. I'm here.
Well, a week before.
Look at his face, bro. He's just about to get the nastiest takeoff. I can already see it.
Week, people were talking about how he's still fringe top 10-ish, fringe top 15-ish, and now it's talking about, hey man, see this sapped up version of MJ?
Nah, this is what I don't like about what you're doing right now. You're just trying to cook MJ. I think again,
I'm not.
This is a case of you underrated.
MJ was brought into the conversation here. No one's trying to cook MJ. Old heads just decided to bring MJ into another LeBron conversation, just to shit on LeBron while he's down right now. In fact, didn't LeBron have a... No. The Lakers had a good game. Bron played pretty well, too.
Oh
how
my
good
God.
old
What
MJ
MJ are we
bro.
talking about? Because maybe
Wizards 40-year-old MJ.
the one that averaged like
playing
22?
Playing with Kwame Brown, averaging 25 and 5 in the dead ball era. Yeah.
He averaged...
hand checking.
First
Real
of all,
defense.
He averaged 25
Real
and 5?
defense.
Nah, he ain't averaging 25 and 5.
22.
Yeah,
20
why we lying?
23. But he wasn't an efficient player when he averaged 23, and then he got more efficient when he averaged 20, I guess. But yeah, these are two. If I were to look at LeBron's numbers right now, he's still better.
Blowing him out the water.
What's Bron efficiency right now, bro?
I guarantee you it's better than
I can guarantee it's better
44%, 18 from 3.
Okay, it's 50.
Better, and that's fine.
With better spacing, playing with AD and a better coach.
Oh,
I guess.
here we go.
I guess.
Fucking God.
Here we go.
You know,
I
this
guess,
Laker
bro.
roster
In
not
the
even-
dead ball era. Come on, bro.
Give me to the next
I
TikTok.
can't with this nigga, bro.
I'm team eliminate the intentional foul up 3. That's just so lame to me. Like a couple days ago, that was like 30 minutes for fucking 2 minutes of basketball. Come on, bro. The viewing experience, bro. I understand.
I'm for it. I get the strategy. You know, as long as it's a rule, I'd do it if I was playing. But entertainment wise, viewership wise, that shit is ass. Ain't nothing more deflating than when you're watching a close game. It's like 30 seconds left. Teams down 3, they got the ball, and the defense just intentionally fouls. Because why wouldn't you? I'm not letting you get a 3-point shot off. Yeah, that got to be changed. That rule's got to be changed. I'm
and
with
O's,
Kenny
and it's
there.
the smartest thing to do. But I gotta think about the consumer at some point. No potential game winners because you want to foul up 3. Man, let them shoot that
Exactly.
ball. Whole highlight reel is just fouling the free throws for the last 6 minutes.
You know what?
That shit is deflating as hell.
Well, actually, sweaty Spalding meditators pulled up and they betrayed their glorious King Kenny and they stabbed him that day or raised the knives.
Really? People got mad about this?
Kenny is 100,000,000% right. I get
1,000% right. I couldn't agree more.
it. It is analytically, statistically, well, actually smarter to foul up 3 to make sure your team can't shoot the ball. Yap, yap, yap. And yes, I'll even go a step further and say, hey, Kenny, that's fine. You can make the intentional foul gone, but what are you going to do when they intentionally foul unintentionally type shit? But regardless, it is, gang, y'all, we cannot sit here and act like, and I know you guys hate when we talk about the NBA potentially dying or declining, anything like that, but we cannot sit here and act like it's perfect. And one of the most frustrating things, if anything, is when in the final 2 minutes, you have 5 commercial breaks and your team down 3. We're expecting Damian Lillard or Steph Curry or Kobe Bryant or LeBron to finally do something really cool. And they fouled Austin Reeves.
Like,
and they fouled
D up, pussy. Like, just D up, bro. If you don't want to make it, you don't want to make it a 3. D up.
Andrew Wiggins. And it's like, come on, gang. It should have been done.
That's crazy. My brother just walked in on me saying D up.
3, you should get a chance. I understand, but it is so lame that's how the basketball game will then go, because then other teams like, well, fuck it, let's fall back. Well, fuck it, let's fall back. And now for the next like 8 possessions, niggas shooting free throws. Gang, that's ass.
I think that is honestly the problem, is that the NBA is low-key perfect. Like, I know that sounds dick suck the way I said it just now, but I'm sorry, bro. The game has been figured out. What works, what doesn't, what you should do at X situation. Like, at this point, there really isn't no leeway on what you should and shouldn't do. It's just been figured out. So that's why I feel like over this last year, I have had so much more fun watching what quote-unquote lower levels of basketball because of a term that I've been using a lot this year. Perfectly imperfection. Okay. I think the lower levels of basketball, like the players just aren't talented enough so that you can run 5 out and do the things that NBA players do, so that like there's more strategy involved. There's more variety in how teams play and all these different things. I know that's not exactly what Kenny was talking about here, but that is something I'm noticing, is that like the lower forms of basketball are better to watch just because there's more energy involved. You know, there's different variety of players. I feel like, at least. Yeah, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I will be a Debbie Downer in this instance. Like, I'm not a fan of the NBA product right now. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just not.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, when all 5 players on the court can't just tween hezzy pull, you know, it requires more strategy to get your buckets. You know, even though, like B-Soul said, it's all lower levels of basketball in the NBA. The NBA has the highest levels of basketball, I feel like, at least offensively speaking. But unfortunately, what it requires to run the highest levels of basketball just isn't quite entertaining to watch. Nobody wants to watch a team pull up for 53s in a game. That's just not interesting.
Damn. Well, all I said is I agree with Kenny. You thought I'd be the one to say that shit, huh, Chad? That's crazy. B-Soul's turned heel, and it wasn't my fault.
I'm just not, bro. Like, nah, that ass, cause
it's a I ain't gonna let you sink alone. Yeah,
it's a bunch of 3-point spamming, bro. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just keep it a stack, bro.
The worst part, sorry to cut you off there, but the worst part is that, like, and I promise you, I know I take my digs at the comments all the time, but I'm dead ass serious. The worst part is, like, if you feel this way, it's like you're not supposed to be able to feel this way. It's like NBA fans will get upset with you if you're upset with the product like you weren't just an NBA fan. Gang, at the end of the day, there's a divide among NBA fans. It's not like NBA fans and people who just woke up one day and took off the chum bucket helmet and don't like basketball anymore. No, the product is certainly, whether you want to agree or disagree whether it's better or worse, it's different than how it used to be years ago. And whether you like seeing optimized hoops in formulaic basketball played at its very best level, versus just, hey gang, this nigga can't shoot, but he can dunk the ball like hell. How the hell are we gonna get him to drop 30 tonight? Type shit. It's just something.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the NBA just has too many issues that no one wants to. It has so many issues that you can't just pinpoint it to one thing. There's obviously, pirated streaming issue. There's an issue with the play style of basketball. It just seems like it's been figured out. The way the media covers basketball, the way some of the fans treat basketball players, like how some star players don't take the regular season as seriously. I mean, like, why would they? We constantly shit on James Harden, even though he's had some of the greatest regular seasons of all time. But the only reason we don't appreciate him as we should is because he hasn't quite performed up to par in the playoffs. Why would any future player coming into the league see that and take the regular season seriously? All we've told them as fans is that shit, you can do whatever. You can average 40 in the regular season. You don't do it in the playoffs, it ain't shit. It don't mean anything. So yeah, I feel like the NBA's just got a lot of little problems that are compiling into a giant problem.
Something's off, because I'll agree. I don't know what it is, but despite my glorious King Luka Doncic out there, despite Steph Curry, LeBron James, all the names that you would think, Anthony Edwards, something about watching full basketball games this year, it's not bad, but it definitely doesn't hit the same for me. I still like the product, but it's definitely different. Like, I understand those that say they don't like the product. I feel like it's disingenuous to act like nobody can see the difference in the product. Therefore, you can't understand how someone doesn't like the product.
Mind you, this is a Celtics fan who just watched his team watch a championship, but I'm not gonna lie, like, even watching Celtics games, bro, like, there's already
the worst one, low-key.
that's what I'm saying. There's already a league-wide complaint about 3-point chucking, and the Celtics are at the top of that game.
You are the team that does that.
Bro, I just seen a game where Jrue Holiday shot 17 threes. 8 in
17?
the first quarter.
Jrue Holiday? Nah, 17 is absurd.
Holiday? 8 threes in the first quarter?
Yeah, there's not a planet, scenario, game. There's not a moment on the planet Earth where Jrue Holiday, of all people, is taking 17 threes. Most motherfuckers don't even take 17 shots in a game. Why is this nigga shooting 17 threes? Yeah, this that shit people be talking about.
Come on, bro.
It was a time on the podcast when we were looking up stats. Or no, it was either on the podcast or for the Jeopardy video or the Who Wants to Be a Billionaire video. Sorry. But long story less long, I was looking up who has like the most 3-point attempts. I saw Peyton Pritchard at 10. I thought it was clickbait. I was like, oh, what the fuck? Am I on some troll shit? No, Peyton Pritchard at one point in time was shooting 10 threes a night. I don't give a fuck if it was a 3-game. I don't give a fuck if it was a 3-game sample size. Chat. Peyton Pritchard shooting 10 threes is so wild.
Happen.
I know y'all hate that argument, but damn, bro, it's hard for me to ignore the argument entirely just because I may think, oh, you're just a fucking casual for not liking the 3-point shooting, gang. It's some point, bro, take the fries out the bag. At some point, bro, poke a hole in the bag. At some point, bro, put some sweet and sour in the bag. Like it's just fries. It's just hot ass fries all the time, man.
Before we get into the rest of the video, I just want to shout out the sponsors of this video, Prize Picks, our personal favorite way to play daily.
Where you get that ad off. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It just feels like even dunking doesn't even feel like cool. Like back in 2014, if you had a crazy dunk, that would be all over SportsCenter, like for at least a week straight. Now, even dunks don't even feel special. I don't know what it is about the NBA lately. It's still my favorite league. Basketball is still my favorite sport. I don't know, but I can't lie. The other leagues just seem to have that entertainment value that the NBA doesn't have.
Fantasy sports.
Yes, with quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous.
Sponsoring this video, links to everything will be in the description. And back to the video.
I really have my uncomfortable conversation real quick. Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the league right now today.
Work on some disrespect or something over there, man. I don't know.
He on some type of edible because I think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander
Shea
got
Gilgeous.
robbed of the MVP last year. And he should get
Shea
it this year.
Gilgeous-Alexander.
What Giannis Antetokounmpo is doing to that paint, man, y'all better stop playing. You see them numbers in the chat? Damn.
Yeah.
Numbers is crazy.
Somebody call the laws on that man. It's abuse.
I'm right button. That's the I'm right button. Drop.
But it's Nikola Jokic. But good shit, Giannis.
Drop them numbers. I guess with Giannis, what's fucking fucked up about Giannis is I will have this take into the end of their careers, and or Giannis just proved me wrong. Giannis is just getting like other arid. Like it's Jokic for me. It's
Yeah,
Luka
it's
Doncic
Jokic.
for me, man. But all the Luka glorious king.
I don't know
You
about
that's
Luka.
my glorious king.
I don't
I'll
know
never
about
betray
Luka,
him.
but
But
I'll give it to
outside
Jokic
of
for
Luka
When you gonna cut
Doncic,
the act, man? Nah, that's what I really want to talk about, man. Luka
about-
Jokic
Yeah.
was never a conversation. I'm sorry, bro. I'm
It's not.
sorry.
never.
It's really
I'm
not.
sorry, bro.
It's really not.
I'm sorry.
Any well actuallyers out there? Whoa, gang. Whoa, gang. Hey, well actuallyers, come on. Never is nuts. I don't give a fuck. Never is crazy.
Y'all wanted to have the conversation, but to me, nah, bro, nah. There was even when Luka was averaging 34 last season, there was never really an aspect of basketball that Luka was better at than Jokic.
Look, let me be clear. For me,
That's
it's never been a
true.
conversation because Luka's better. But for
Like-
the well actually stands, hey man,
Like maybe outside of dribbling, what does Luka do better than Jokic? Maybe, but no, Jokic can shoot too. So I don't even. I don't even know. I don't even really know if that's true.
there was a point in time, bro. Stop it. You're a hater. But if I cannot introduce my glorious king, if I cannot introduce the embodiment of my joy, if I cannot introduce the thing that the reason that why I smile, if I cannot enjoy, if I cannot bring him up, hey man, I just think it's definitely a Giannis Jokic world. Shout out to the guy that brought up SJ for some reason. But I think it's a Giannis Jokic world, and Jokic is the guy that you just gotta slightly lean towards more. So this whole era is gonna be like the what about Giannis shit, if that makes sense. Like because Giannis in a world like where Jokic is just slightly worse. Oh my fucking god. So Giannis is easily 1A in the best player in the league material. I just don't think he is the 1A. I think we're kind of lucky as NBA fans. I know we were just going on earlier, but I think we're lucky as NBA fans. We have Giannis and Jokic in their fucking prime. Here's this. We just had a little session about him, but the fact that Luka Doncic for many of you isn't in that conversation is crazy. It's like we're in a good era. We're eating good as NBA fans in terms of talent, but
really think about it. We're really in a league where Luka Doncic isn't the best player in the league. That's really crazy to think about. When you really think about it. I think the league is spoiled for talent at the moment.
Yeah, I just feel bad because I think Giannis is going to be one of them players that get kind of put into a sphere of you're an idiot if you think Giannis is better than Jokic. I don't think you are. I just disagree.
Giannis only got a jump shot. I don't know if you've been seeing him playing this
He been shooting.
It's not a three, but the mid range. Hold on now.
That's what I'm saying. Giannis is kind of Giannis is that guy's good. that guy's damn good, and it's fucked up that like. Hey, gang, he got the shot, but until it's a three, Jokic is always going to be better. So it's just tough. It's tough.
Yeah, I think it's just so interesting how much the rankings have changed over one summer, for real. Because, like, Embiid, where the fuck is Embiid in these conversations?
He was never.
Yeah, people just got tired of him, and AD actually was unironically getting good. So
yeah, AD got good as well, but even AD.
You want to talk about someone that's been slandered over the last several years? It's AD. Anthony Davis has been one of the most disrespected superstars of this decade, man. All because he had, I think, really one injury, like one really bad injury season. I think it was 2021, like right after they went in the bubble. But ever since, like he's been playing most of the games. He's been playing a lot of games, but you would think but the way people talk about him, you would think he was out just as much as Joel Embiid, but he's practically there for every game. Yeah, he might get nicked. Every time the nigga falls down, it looks scary. Your heart might stop a bit, but he usually gets back up. Pretty sure he's been to every playoff game of the last 2 seasons, postseasons. So can't say the same for Embiid.
He like AD kind of slowed down halfway
Yeah, a
through
little
this season. Who else? Luka. Hey, Luka slowed down.
I'm
Hey,
not doubting my glorious.
I'm
King.
not gonna lie, man. I see way more people accepting the Tatum over Luka takes now, man. I
wow.
like this.
I mean,
That's
I
nasty.
like
you gotta,
this.
you
That's
gotta
a little nasty.
understand how NBA fandom works.
I
We
don't
just
think I'll
got
go that
done
far.
talking about LeBron being ass, and then when he drops 40, he's back to top 10. You know how this shit go, and you ain't gonna act like you don't know how it go. But it's fine. We gonna wait till the off time.
Tatum just been better this season. That's all.
Tatum has gotten better this season. I
He's
understand. that.
better. He's better
He's
than
gotten
Luka.
better.
He's
this
better.
season.
It's crazy.
He's gotten
He
better.
has gotten
he's
better.
becoming
Someone
better.
got
player.
worse.
That is a
Someone
fact.
got
That is
worse.
See, why do you think that? See,
Luka got worse. He's
did not
playing
get
worse
worse.
this season compared to
You
last season.
You could
Yes,
argue he's
he
playing worse,
is.
but he did not get worse. This is my problem with you,
Oh,
NBA fans.
okay.
This is my problem with
Okay.
y'all, man. How the fuck Luka, same height, same weight, same physical attributes, same bag, same jump shots, all that, get worse? He's just in a slump right now. But my glorious king, the embodiment of my
So he's
joy,
playing
the
worse.
The aspiration.
So he's currently playing worse. Now that he's playing worse than Tatum, I guess I'd have to look at the numbers again. But by that logic, he would be playing worse.
Of my dreams, the embodiment of dreams. Actually, there's no way.
Man,
There's
Kyrie
no
need-
way
Ky-
this
Kyrie
offense
needs
got
help.
Worse.
Kyrie
needs
needs
help.
help is nasty.
Kyrie needs help.
JB has help. How about that? JB finally got some
Good.
help.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kyrie needs help. What?
Yeah. Kyrie and Luka need help. Clay.
How is Clay doing?
Damn, how is Clay doing?
Chatty, y'all like,
36% from three. Okay.
yeah,
ever
my thing,
since
Max,
that,
man, do
ever
you
since
like
that
Klay
one Warriors game, I haven't heard shit about Clay, bro.
Thompson? I'm dead ass. I ain't gonna lie. I've been slacking on all the games that I usually watch. Taking a little step back, admittingly. Got a little busier. But yeah. Y'all like Clay? Seeing 38 from the field, but 36 from three, kind of like he's only shooting threes any fucking way. So
Celtics fans, real question. Does it ever get boring?
Yes.
Yo, why is my Duolingo, bro? Look at my Duolingo, bro, because I haven't done my lesson yet. Bro, Duolingo need to chill out, bro. I'm gonna do my lesson, probably. I'm probably gonna lose my streak, y'all, but we'll see. We'll see if I feel like it.
Not this game though. This game was pissing me off.
yeah, I'm about to say, wasn't that game like low-key insanely triggering?
Yes, because Drew, the game, because Drew has been on a slump lately, and you remember the whole like corner Drew thing from last season where he was shooting like 60% from three? Yeah, he's done a complete 180. He's fucking ass from the corner. So the game plan this game was to just leave Drew open the whole time and blitz everyone, and it fucking worked. But
Wow.
Drew Holiday, knowing he is and
That's the
knowing
worst.
like how we play, he was open every time, and he just fucking shot it, and he kept on missing. So we took 17 threes the whole game.
17
He took
threes.
8 threes in the first quarter and ended 4 of 17 from 3.
The worst part, and we're gonna move on after this. We're gonna let him talk. But the worst part is technically, well, actually, that's the optimal play.
That is
the optimal play. Like,
Especially
what-
given the
what
fact
do
of
you-
last year. I know I just got done talking about how NBA fans can sometimes be a little too reactionary, but no, that makes sense. Hey, gang, for tonight, that nigga been off. He going to show me something. On the flip side, Drew, what the fuck?
leaving him open?
Snap
Yeah.
out of it, nigga. They're gonna let you shoot it 17 times. So whether you're from a common sense standpoint or an analytical standpoint, both teams did
Makes
the
sense.
right thing. Now the question is, did you have fun watching it?
Does it ever get boring seeing the way your team wins basketball games? Look, I already know what you're about to say. I mean, we're winning basketball games. I know you guys are all jealous, so yeah, I'm just happy to see them win. Yeah, that's fine. But like, seeing their style of play of basketball is so
That's
little
nasty.
variance from what I see from any other team in the league.
56 threes. 56. It'd be one thing if they were hitting like 25 of them. But even then, 56.
Anybody outside of a Celtics fan watches the Celtics play basketball
It's
and be
not
like,
fun.
oh my gosh, why are they taking so many? Look at that. 56 threes is crazy. It's like somebody gets past it. Let's say it's Hauser or somebody like that. Hauser has a lane to drive, a clear lane to drive. Like nobody's there. And hot potato, just shoots it immediately. Is some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen.
Let me tell you this right now. My dad is like an old head basketball fan, and like in 2015,
I know he hates this.
he was already saying,
Oh,
"Man,
we're
why
already
everyone
shooting a lot,
shooting
yeah.
all these threes, man?" Mind you, he's a Celtics fan. I'm so tired of Paul Pierce shooting all these threes. Why is Isaiah Thomas chucking up all these threes? Back then, he was already that. So
Oh,
to
no,
see
imagine him
his
now.
team become this
The
team,
team doing it.
not the worst, but like the most 3-point attempt shooter.
Yeah, they're the most egregious as far as attempt goes, but I don't think they're probably not the worst. I mean, they're definitely not the worst.
Team of all time in the most 3-point attempt shooting ass league ever. God, I know it's a bittersweet relationship between my dad and the Celtics, man. I see it in his eyes. All these
And
wins.
it's the only ring they won since 2012 too. So what? What can he say? What can he say, bro? Or it's after 2012. It's been 12 years. It's 2008. No, it hadn't even been 12 years. Nigga, I cannot do math. That's 16 years. God, damn near over a decade and a half.
But for what?
I got half a mind to call my dad right now and be like, how do you feel about all the threes, man? Because he's a Lakers fan. Yeah, right? Bloodline rules. He's a Lakers fan. And but he showed me Kobe first shot. He cheated.
Yeah, you don't got to worry about
Long story less long. He's
you
a
don't
Lakers
gotta worry
fan.
about the Lakers
But yeah,
shooting threes.
he's
Niggas
not
can't
with this
shoot.
shit either. He's definitely a barbershop talk kind of guy. I still like Kyrie Irving, handles kind of guy. So I'm very interested into how that generation, let alone those kind of NBA fans, just feel about all of the shooting. Like, do they still like it? Because 3-point shooting is like still tough to do because it's 3-point shooting. It's never not. It's never like uncool. It just an abundance of it, right? It's interesting. I know I didn't make the most sense there, but it's very interesting to see how those fans might feel.
Cuts to the basket, no bad cuts, no cuts in general. And the only people that really cut to the basket is Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. That's it. You know, Drew Holiday will sometimes post up, get down there. That's it. Everybody else is sitting on the 3-point line like they're waiting for the ice cream truck. Look, I get it. A win is a win is a win. And if it helps them have a chance to win another championship, which it will, I can't blame them for playing the way they play. But
it's just
I will say
uninteresting as hell to watch. That's the unfortunate reality of where we're at as a league.
This doesn't help the NBA's case of, ratings being lower and stuff like that, because watching the Celtics play is just it's crazy.
It is.
It's damn near unwatchable.
That's basically where it is right now. You either like the product because it works, or you dislike the product while knowing it works. But nobody will sit there and argue that it's a bad thing to do in terms of winning games.
Also, shout out to Ja, because he actually is one of the few like very refreshing players.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Shout out, Ja.
Yes, Ja Morant is easily becoming like, I've been an Ant fan for the longest. He's turning
Ant
into
shooting
one
like
of
14 threes a game. Oh, what?
So I've recently found my
I fuck with
re-love
Ja.
for
And he like
for
6'1"
Ja
or 6'2"?
Foke Trey Morant.
Yeah, he's a small guard who's not an elite 3-point shooter that attacks the rim.
With ruthless aggression, no hesitation. I fucks with Ja. We need more Jaws in the world at the moment.
That's a dying breed right there.
Just wish he was still dunk, but I understand it. Fuck.
Shout out to Trey too.
That nigga be damn near killing himself every dunk.
Yeah, because at some point, it's still impressive that you're that short. You can do it.
If you want me to be honest, Tyrese Halliburton was never good.
I ain't gonna lie, when selecting this TikTok, I said, hey, gang, I don't care about the likes. I don't care about the comments. He looked like he's gonna say some funny shit. So I just picked him. I seen the caption, said ball up top. Here we go.
I don't know if I'd say never good, but they were definitely gassing him last year. Tyrese definitely had, especially the postseason, he had a lot of lucky breaks happen to him. But that man was fighting fraud alerts all year last year. He's gonna fight him this year. He probably is fighting him this year.
Okay, he's over. In my opinion, he's overrated. Okay, people talk about Chris Paul being overrated. Tyrese Halliburton's overrated. He's just a taller version of Chris Paul. Want me to be real?
Damn.
Is he even that?
The worst thing?
That's not even the worst thing to be. Unless he's talking about 2024 Chris Paul. Then that's probably a bad thing. But what's wrong with being a taller version of Chris Paul? Chris Paul was a dog.
Outside of pass.
Nah, no, that bottom screen is crazy.
Editor Souls just crashed out. Guys, I've edited from the ground up, but let me tell you, if I take this shit more seriously than most of you give me credit for. This is a 9 triggering for me. Bezos, that's an 11. That just got him. That got him good.
What the fuck?
It's the fade too, right? It's how you fade
and
to the
showing
screen.
the
Yeah.
control panel. What the
How
fuck?
you fade to a control panel. That's crazy.
What is he good at?
Oh wow.
Oh wait.
I don't know.
He's not a passer.
Passing.
He's not an overly
Oh
scored.
shit.
Like, it's something about.
Bro!
Damn,
This cop cut ass
Yes.
video.
Yes. We are recording everything. Shout out to the original creator, obviously. Reese, man, Reese isn't a pendulum player. So I'm not even gonna say not too much because you're gonna love him in like 2 months. Yeah. Reese is like one of the pendulum players. For those that don't know the made-up term, essentially overrated, underrated, overrated, underrated, overrated, underrated, like a damn
talks.
pendulum.
Yeah, I will say right now, no one is giving him any flowers, so I can't really say he's overrated. You know what I'm saying? However, I will say this, man. I'm off the Tyrese train. I'm sorry, man. Respect
Wow,
to you.
yo,
I was
is
never
there
on it
something
for
that-
real.
okay,
So
you know what? No. You know, we're gonna ask you this question. What is something that's happening right now that based off of last season, you're not buying the hype? Because it seems like you're with all the hype this year.
Oh, the Cavs.
the Cavs.
Yeah,
I guess. It's kind of
Yeah.
Mick because you're a Celtics fan, but I guess.
the Cavs, bro. Hey.
Okay, what about Donovan Mitchell himself?
I never bought that hype.
Oh,
I've not.
Actually,
I don't know what it is about Donovan Mitchell and the Cavaliers. I just feel like they're gonna get to the second round of the postseason and just not follow through. I have no faith. Maybe Donovan could prove me wrong because I felt the same way about the Celtics. I thought they were gonna be that one team that always gets super close, but just can't quite finish. But hey, they proved me wrong in dominating fashion at that. But with that being said, I have zero faith in the Cavs. Absolutely none.
Rookie season, I'm like, oh, Donovan Mitchell's in. By year 3, year 4, okay, we know who you are. Okay.
Oh my
Okay.
God!
Okay, let me see what else is going on in the league, man.
I think Don's crazy now. I've been thought Don was good. I've been thought Don was underrated since the postseason last year. I was like, oh wow, I think if Donovan Mitchell was hitting his threes, y'all would love him.
I knew the Nuggets were gonna be ass this season. They're definitely proving me right. So I think that's gonna stay. So this is
True. You did call that.
but yeah, no, Tyrese. I think I'm off, man. I'm off. I ain't gonna lie. Like listen. I think he belonged in the conversations he belonged in last season, right?
Sure,
If we look at last season, it's fine to compare him to the Jalen Brunsons of the world. But
There's no comparison
he's
this
not.
year.
He's not that anymore, man.
You think this
I'm
is
sorry,
like the
man.
2018 Oladipo type shit?
Yeah,
shit,
type
man.
shit.
Damn,
Type
that's
shit, yeah.
crazy. For me, by the way, because I just called him a pendulum player, but I didn't pick a side here. For me, I always thought he was a smidge overrated. So now I think he's kind of underrated because everybody calling him overrated and ass. But I definitely thought that at the time when you're having these conversations with Jalen Brunson, things like that, I was like, dang, I don't see what y'all see. I think the other players are just better. I thought people had amnesia about Ja Morant. I thought people low-key just
People
like
were forgetting
dunking
about
on Trae
Ja.
Young. I wasn't giving Reese a lot of those 1v1s when we having a conversation of him being in that tier. However, I thought he was in that tier. He was just more towards the tail end than like top 3. So
Yeah, because what I saw last season was like, okay, this dude low key could be like a number 1 on a contender. You know what I'm saying? But now he could be a number 2, he could be a number 3, but number 1 can't go, man.
that's crazy. So the pace is not your biggest option no more.
It's the Cavs, man.
They
It's the
never were.
Cavs.
Oh, Cavs. Yeah, totally.
The Knicks.
Under most underrated team in basketball. They just need to get their shit
Knicks,
together.
yeah.
Real conversation. Who's better, Cat or JB? But we don't want to have that conversation. It's
We
it's
do
cool,
not.
man.
We don't.
do
We
not.
don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
P-
as long as they
we-
win,
we
man, who
don't.
cares?
We don't.
Cause Cat been going crazy. Big Cat, Big Purr.
Hey,
Big Purr's now Big
while
Bodega.
we're
We
on
fuck
the
with it.
subject, it. This has been a tangent video anyway. You guys like this shit though. Like it up, subscribe. Gang, I ain't gonna lie. It was a lemon on the ground. And y'all niggas picked it up and tried to make orange juice. Sorry that Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert, the front court,
Yeah.
isn't cooking.
Who
I
thought
tried to
that
tell
was gonna
y'all
work
that,
out?
And I was, underestimating Julius Foulius. Now you're calling him Julius Foulius.
All right, does this NBA team have a future Hall of Famer on their active
Yes.
roster? The Dallas Mavericks, yeah, they got
Of course they do. It's the
Yeah.
embodiment of my joy.
first ballot guys.
Possibly.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's rough.
First ballot?
First ballot.
First ballot.
I don't
no.
know.
I think
No.
that's fair.
No.
They
First
do have
ballot.
DeMar. They do have DeMar.
They do have DeMar.
Shit.
Is DeMar a first ballot?
It depends on who's in his
DeMar been
class.
in the league for a long
He's
time.
been-
He got
yeah,
them
he's been there for a
totals. He
minute.
got them
DeMar been
totals.
in the league
got
for a
his-
while. He did a lot
got his
for
stripes.
his franchise. I don't know. I probably get to him.
Arguably
It depends
the
on his
greatest
class.
Raptor
Yeah,
still.
that's what
Depends
I'm
on
saying.
his
I
class.
get to him. Yes, in terms of if he's in a stat class, he's cooked. I don't know
Mhm.
when he retires. That's my issue.
I think he conceded a little bit too easy. I ain't gonna lie. I just want to bring him
Nah,
up, but
no. The reason I give it to him is because I think like he'll have that he'll be that like maybe the polar bear in
Toronto DeMar, he went crazy. I think that 2014 run, 2014 to 17, or no, 2014 to 18. 14, 18, that man was a bucket. Granted, he ran into LeBron damn near every year, and well, LeBronto's a thing, so that happened in the postseason. But DeMar was that guy.
Arlington, Texas meme, but I could see him getting in for the reasons you named. He is an outlier because it's like, okay, he hasn't gotten the ring, he hasn't done this, that, but he is like, you know, for a long time synonymous with being the face of Toronto outside of Kyle Lowry when it comes to basketball. So
I just don't know if there's a limit on like how many people make it in the first ballot.
Yeah.
But mind you, he was in the 09 draft. That's the Harden, Blake Griffin, Curry draft. And it's probably going to be like the drafts around that. So
2011, some people retired earlier. 2011, that's
shit everywhere.
Yeah, bro, that was like that like ran a little test. He's like, I ain't say nothing. This coach been sitting here for 3 days.
Yeah. Did you tell them?
Nah, he was tripping on them.
Oh, he was tripping
I was
on
about to
them.
go
He was just-
upstairs.
he was just in a-
It was
okay,
when
so
he first
you-
came home. Like
Okay.
nigga was going for like.
He did see me. He did see me.
Hold on,
He
babe. Hold on, babe.
He did see my note when I went down there. I was like,
Because this nigga was like, this nigga was inside for like
all the cups, bro. Because even shit upstairs, they do it all the time. Even upstairs, they do it all the time. That shit is annoying.
And he was like, you know, they paid $500 to clean that up the other day, and you already messed it up.
True. Keep trying to tell them, bro. Like, it ain't even your own space you doing this in. You doing this in shared spaces. That's why it annoys me. That's why it annoys me when they mess up the living room. Because I'm like, bro, this ain't y'all's room. Like, this is a shared space. We all gotta share it. Why y'all messing it up? At least clean after yourselves.
At least.
But nah, you tell them to do that. Now all of a sudden you the problem.
And my mom cooks tomorrow.
I hope so too. All right. Hello, nobody. I know y'all heard me yapping or didn't hear me yapping, but we back.
Gonna be pretty stacked. Yeah, it depends. Obviously, this depends who goes anyway. I would say, gun to my head, he has a higher shot of making it than he does not, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm hate to be a Mickey Mouse answer. That's why I said I preluded this with probably so. But yeah, it's a 50-50 for me.
What about I know we talked about DeMar, but no love for De'Aaron and Sabonis.
That shit.
Sabonis.
If you think De'Aaron Fox in his prime is better than DeMar, that's fine. But he doesn't have the arguments DeMar has. I don't think he's going to win a championship at this point in time. Maybe he proves me wrong. Maybe he gets better. Maybe he gets a better roster. But nah.
De'Aaron Fox is definitely going to be one of the more underrated players of this era.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That dude
for
got
sure.
overshadowed like crazy by other guards.
It's just too many damn point guards. They're too. It's an overflux, whatever, of great point guards in the league.
In a guard heavy league.
Kings, that's interesting because Sabonis and Fox are going to put up big numbers, but DeRozan's really got the best shot. My gut says no to all three.
Damn,
that's fair.
The Orlando Magic.
Ooh,
Paolo, yeah.
Paolo.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I go Paolo.
Donovan Mitchell.
Whoa.
Do I think
greatest player?
Greatest player in Magic history.
Hey, gang.
That's lofty. That's lofty.
That's a lot. Talking about Dwight and Shaq.
That is a claim. I'm not saying that he can't do it. He would have to stay there. That's one. He has to stay in Orlando. Two, got some players that played in Orlando. If he doesn't stay, you got some. You sure? You got T-Mac. You got Penny. You got. If you want to go with the O'Neal, you can.
You do, yeah. You definitely go O'Neal.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's a matter if you want to cut him out, but you don't. You got a lot of players. So to say that he'd be the GOAT, he would have to like be a permanent Magic player for me. I don't project him being better than Shaquille O'Neal, Chad. I'm sorry.
Same thing with De'Aaron. Like some of these players got hot starts, and it's fine to be excited about what they can be, but we got to remember what the legends really did for real, and like we just gotta pipe down real quick.
Slow down a little bit.
It's crazy.
Potential has always been like a sneaky thing, especially as the anime YouTuber here. Overrated in the sense of like people sometimes hear the word potential or see young and just run with it. Gang, we're not looking at the next 10 Akatsuki fucking peak niggas like, yo, somebody, one person might dead ass crack the top 10 all time. Maybe, hopefully, probably not type shit. Like, chill, bro.
Shit, hey man, Ben Simmons is supposed to be the next LeBron. I do remember those convos. I was one of the niggas. Rookie of the year. I think he deserved it. But man, it's crazy how time flies, huh?
Cleveland Cavaliers, another tough one.
I give it to Donovan.
It depends on
Donovan Mitchell gets in
today
because he scores like 25,000 for.
My ass was thinking LeBron. What the fuck?
Evan Mobley took the offensive leap. Side note.
Okay, he did.
Points. Evan Mobley does not. Brooklyn Nets. That is going to be a no, unless Cam Thomas turns into the next Kobe Bryant. Charlotte Hornets. Again.
Y'all not doing it.
LaMelo. I don't know. He's hooping out of control this year, but maybe LaMelo, unless he just has a bunch of injury problems.
Ooh, LaMelo. Nah.
Does Siakam get in for 2019?
Siakam.
He checked Mark Hallie, by the way.
Yeah, he checked Hallie. Hallie got to be basic. Your argument for Hallie got to be he was like 2020's Nash with the numbers.
Yeah. I'm gonna make this short, bro. It's no till further notice. All right, no till further notice. Do more, buddy. Do more.
Yeah, it depends what he does in the offs. I agree.
Steph the best.
What about KD?
KD, he don't count. He's just too good.
So Steph over LeBron.
What?
Told y'all, Chad.
Yeah, Steph
KD too good. KD too good.
Steph over LeBron. All right.
KD too good. Okay.
KD just omnipotent.
Yep. Steph or LeBron.
Yeah, no balls.
They both got 4 rings.
Type shit.
Time out. Steph or LeBron.
No.
4 rings. How many finals
Two of
MVPs
Steph
he got?
rings
LeBron
are
got
from
400.
that
How much finals
ridiculous
MVP?
ass super
But
teams.
you got a finals
So.
MVP. Why?
Oh, fuck.
Give it to me. It's supposed to give it to Steph.
Side note, bro. I just hold
It's
on.
crazy-
This
it's
is just
crazy
so
you got a
funny to
finals
me,
MVP
man.
for
Because
that.
like this is something that like a lot of the NBA YouTube would love to have the opportunity of, but it's Kai Cenat and friends getting the opportunity to do it. Like,
Man, you did it. I wasn't gonna do it because I know after some of the topics we've had in this conversation, it's not what they want to hear. But another like low-key tough side chat, hey gang, that you would think it'd be like hell. Maybe even our stupid ass is talking to the player. Nah, no. The NBA, you wanna know what else the NBA could do, chat? Fuck with the creators, man. Just saying. But by the way, I'm not mad at Iggy for going on the fucking cock stream. But like, damn, bro, like, what about little old me, man? You know what I'm saying? We work hard.
I think the NBA has made their stance with the Creator Cup what they view are NBA YouTubers, and it's not the analytical schmiticals. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah,
It's Jesser, it's T Jazz, it's Kai, it's Drewski, it's them. So
It's literally like Kenny's like as far as they go type shit because Kenny's like the guy that got on ESPN and things like that. So they're welcome to certain people, but I would argue Kenny's a personality as well.
there's literally a handful, and like there's a list. I'm telling you, it's a handful.
Entertainment's the name of the game now, chat. Do you like that though? Deadass, comment below. Now it's the question. Do you like that NBA sports media first takes Undisputeds are more entertainment based rather than analyticals?
I don't know why they gave it to me. It's supposed to give it to Steph.
Oh my!
You already knew that. We already got that scoop.
At the Celtics game, what do you say? You said you got finals MVP because why? You shut LeBron down.
I ain't shut him down. I just made it harder for
You contained him in your mind because with my 2 eyes, I see 40, 10, 10, 40. 10, 10.
You can see how
he slowed down.
Some guys make it harder for him than other guys.
It's true.
Right. Type shit.
Like every time you start LeBron, you set the fucking screen. Set this screen. Set this screen.
Tough, bro. Steph changed the way basketball is played. Now all people shoot threes. I wish they would stop because they ain't Steph. But
I agree.
We ain't
fuck.
Is Steph ruin basketball? Nah, let me chill.
Denny, let's talk about it. Let's have the uncomfortable. Nah,
It's a convo, but it's not Steph's fault.
I love Steph too much, but Steph, you might gotta hold that game.
Yeah.
I was watching Gil. He's talking about.
It's unfair though, because Steph can actually shoot those, and he's actually like really good at it. It's just other people that are not so good keep trying to shoot like they are him when they're not, and it looks really bad when they miss.
His biggest concern is like same thing with Andre, bro. It's fun to shoot as many threes as you want, but like know your skill. Like, why is Tatum taking 12 threes a game? Like, come on, bro. You're not a sharp shooter like that, but it makes sense though. Like,
And I'm glad NBA players are calling it out.
With that being said, appreciate y'all for watching this video with us, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right. Like the video. Luka is the best black player I've ever seen, hands down. Okay. Don't know what to say to that one. The Sage love Luka more than Flight loves Curry. That's a debatable topic. Buddy is straight up doing tricks on it. Reasonable glaze. Flight loves Curry more than I could ever love my kids. Damn, either Flight needs to love Curry less, or you need to love your kids more, man. Impossible. Flight would sell his arms if Curry got a shooting slump. He'd sell his nuts so Curry could have more kids. Nah, Flight glazed Steph more than Krispy Kreme glazed donuts. 80% of us NBA fans can't watch their own team. Ooh, yeah, that's another. It is harder than ever to watch a full basketball game. Just in general, there's so many networks, and then depending on where you live, you can't watch certain teams. It's rough. 26, 5 and 5 and 27 to 21. Shit, I don't see anyone give that grace to Bron when he strained his groin in 2019. If I remember correctly, the Lakers were also with the 4th seed as well before they missed the playoffs that year. All right. Well, y'all check out that, or y'all check out their channel, Souls and Sage, and I'm gonna hop into the next one. This is a crazy freeze frame. All right. How Kakuzu and Hedon's Akatsuki suppression arc became one of the most goated arcs of all time. It was a great arc. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. I think I watched this specific arc when I was like 10. No idea what I was doing watching Naruto Shippuden at 10 years old, but especially an arc like that. But I enjoyed it. R.I.P. Asuma, man. Asuma's death, it tore up the whole community, really. But let's see what Kage the Don is talking about.
Are mentally ill. You should agree without hesitation that the Hedon and Kakuzu arc was peak cinema. Every fight in that arc had me on the edge of my seat. That zombie duo was not to be messed with. Now, because I am on vacation knocking back 12 pina coladas a day, I was not able to finish the Sakura vs. Chio bit on time, but I decided instead of leaving you with nothing, I might as well break down the arc in one video. So with that being said, sit back, relax, and enjoy this compilation of peak combat. And go ahead and hit that like and subscribe for me, man. We trying to hit 150 before the year, and so you already know what to do. For the crew on the loo, not the two, Scooby-Doo. Okay, so boom. A scene kicks off with Hedon sitting on some steps waiting for Kakuzu to come back with their cash. The two of them are fresh off of packing up this Vin Diesel looking monk who had a bounty on his head. I know that bounty was fat too. People sure would pay a lot of money to get a glimpse of their future in that crystal ball, cue ball, shiny head of his. Head so bald you just want to hit him with that Michael Jordan. As Hedon continues to wait patiently on the stairs, he hears the footsteps of someone behind him. So naturally, he assumes that the footsteps are Kakuzu's. But once he fully rotates to see who it is, we see the man of the hour, Asuma, posed up behind him. And he's not here to play no games either. My man Asuma is ready to get to work immediately. He quickly throws 3 shurikens, but Hedon manages to block them with his sight just in time. He then tries to throw his sight at Asuma, but before it could reach him, my boy Shikamaru pulls up and hits him with that infamous shadow possession jutsu. Hedon, now confused as to why he can't move, tries to get a glimpse of what's keeping him in place. But Asuma's squad was trying to get that KO in record time. So Izumo and Kotetsu charge in and pierce Hedon with these long blades from both directions. Now after seeing Hedon get turned into a meat kebab, Asuma and Shikamaru are already ready to celebrate. This man Shikamaru over here grinning, probably happy as hell his lazy ass gets to clock out early. And Asuma's over here talking about something. That's one of them down. Nigga, let the body drop first? Like damn, I can't stand when a kill gets claimed too early. Niggas will shoot their opponent once talking about some, we got him. Oh, not if you don't go ahead and...
I mean, to be fair, Hedon not even that strong for real. It's just the ability to be immortal and kind of the shock value of it in the universe. He's really just immortal for no reason. He just believes in this god, Jashin, and he's immortal. Like, they never really explained that.
Empty that clip. After piercing Hedon with 2 blades, all 4 members of Asuma's squad stand there waiting for him to drop. But after letting Kotetsu sniff his musty armpits for a few more seconds, this man Hedon in the most casual, nonchalant voice says,
"Ow, that hurts." Who are you people? Quit sticking it in like that.
First of all, pause. Second of all, how is this man still alive? Buddy got 2 thick-ass swords poking out his chest and back, and he's over here speaking perfectly without even a little stutter. Yeah, go ahead and pack up, y'all. This one's not even worth it. Now they're just standing there, face to face, chopping it up, until Hidan notices the symbol around Asuma's waist. Hidan then puts 2 and 2 together and realizes that Asuma is also a part of the same Guardian Ninja collective that Vin Diesel was under. So now, like the money-hungry demon he is, he plans on collecting the bounty that's on Asuma's head too. Asuma then proceeds to go on a yapathon, basically sharing the whole plan, talking about some
We are Shinobi of the Leaf Village. Our orders are to capture or eliminate you, Akatsuki. My original idea was to take down one of you first, then capture.
Shut up, nigga.
My brother, why are you spilling the beans to this man? What do you gain from this? You are literally giving his partner more time to come and join the fight. And funny enough, guess what happens next? Kakuzu comes flying out of nowhere with his fist cocked back, ready to punch the ponytail out of Shikamaru's head. Shikamaru manages to evade the attack, but this move of evasion also released Hidan from his grasp. Kakuzu continues to chase Shikamaru, but Asuma quickly jumps in front of Kakuzu while the other 2 retreat from Hidan. Now they're all back to back, ready to plot their next move. Now you think with Kakuzu in the mix now, Hidan would work with him to wrap up this fight quickly and go cash in the check, but that was not the case. Instead, Hidan's talking about some
Kakuzu, just stay out of this, alright? I want these 3 for my ritual. You can have them after.
I beg your pardon? The fuck you mean you can have them after? Shikamaru, you gonna let him talk to you like this? He just said he's trying to pass y'all around like an industry bot. You can have them after. Nigga, I'm not Ruby Rose. Kakuzu ultimately backs down, allowing Hidan to take the 1v4. But that is when we see this nigga Hidan drawing this devilish looking symbol with his own blood on the ground. Now I admit I was too distracted by the second half of Hidan's monologue, but if we take it back a little bit, we can hear this demon say,
I want these 3 for my ritual.
You what? What ritual is homeboy talking about? This plus that blood symbol you drew on the ground was already enough to qualify you for a prayer and a complimentary exorcism. But if you don't want to take my word for it, take Shikamaru's. After watching him draw that symbol with the blood on the ground, Shikamaru quickly bowed his head and started saying a prayer. I'm not lying. If you don't believe me, go check it out for yourself. This is him speaking right now. After praying and strategizing for a bit longer, Hidan finally cuts them off and pulls the 2 swords out of his body. Then, to my surprise, he says,
The gods shall punish those who don't understand the pain of others.
Bro, which god are you talking about? See, you gotta be careful with people like this. I had a friend pray that his enemy's house blows up into pieces. Come to find out his op lives with his innocent granny and her 3 puppies. I don't think God's gonna fulfill that prayer. After staring at each other for a bit longer, Asuma makes the first move and charges at Hidan. So Hidan rushes towards him too. They both collide, but Asuma manages to cut Hidan's blade in half with his. Before Hidan could even realize his blade's been cut, Shikamaru guns at him with his shadow stitches, so Hidan quickly jumps out the way. While in the air, he throws his broken blade at Asuma, which he blocks with ease. Then he sends his scythe at his head, but Asuma weaved that move with 0 difficulty. Hidan then digs the scythe into the ground and uses it to drag him away from Shikamaru's shadow stitches. So Asuma proceeds to charge at him again, but this time Hidan tries to catch him off guard by jumping in the air to get him from above. But Asuma was able to adjust and block the blow just in time. Shikamaru continues to try and catch him with his shadow stitches, but Hidan's just too fast. Eventually, Hidan gets tired of playing this cat and mouse game, so he throws his scythe at Shikamaru. But Asuma steps in front and proceeds to hit this holy woe real quick, and now the ghost of Vin Diesel is right beside him. All of a sudden, this angelic music starts to play, and this golden 20-handed goddess appears behind him. Now, the first time I seen this, I genuinely thought Hidan was cooked. Look at this heavenly looking jutsu. You cannot tell me he's not about to punch the soul out of his chest with all 20 arms. But instead, all this man does is stiff arm the scythe and tickle this man's titty. Bro, don't piss me off. This clickbait ass jutsu. You couldn't even make Hidan touch the ground? Then to make things worse, he has the audacity to hit us with his little smirk like he did something. Asuma, quit playing and lock the in. Asuma then throws 3 shurikens at him, so Hidan jumps out the way. Now, as sorry as these shuriken throws might have seemed, that was all according to plan, because as soon as he jumped, Shikamaru quickly sent his shadow stitches at him, but they missed him by just a hair. Hidan then tries to slice Asuma in half, but Asuma manages to hit the most elegant backflip over the blades. Hidan continues to run from the stitches, but finally, Asuma, Izumo, and Kotetsu got this man cornered. So at the same time, they all throw a bunch of shurikens at him. Now, during the last 5 minutes of this fight, Hidan must have forgot forgot he was immortal. Because instead of dodging the shurikens like he's been doing, he lets all the shurikens pierce his body, then continues to charge at Shikamaru. Asuma's not letting him get a hand on his shogi partner, so he decides to chase down Hidan. So he turns around and throws a kunai at Asuma, which he blocks. But then Hidan hits that same backflip Gervonta Davis does after every knockout, just up there levitating, stunning on his opponent. Then he throws his scythe at Asuma. He blocks the scythe, but not before getting pierced by the tip of one of his blades. Now, normally a little scratch like this wouldn't be a cause for concern, but judging by the look on Asuma's face, I can tell that something is very...
Unfortunately, Asuma was fighting a freaky ass nigga.
Wrong. Hidan begins to retract his sight. Then he starts sticking that tongue out, trying to show us what that mouth did. Asuma, thinking he has Hidan right where he wants him, decides to boot up his burning ass jutsu. And now the air is filled with ash from his nasty ass cigarette-filled tar black lungs. Lungs probably out here looking the same color as Hidan's soul. As the air continues to fill with ash, Hidan licks the tip of the blade, walks into the blood circle he drew at the beginning of the fight, and then we see his skin color change. Asuma's ready to wrap this up, so he bites down on the ash and causes a huge explosion, sending Hidan back to the depths of hell that he came from. Amen, won't he do it? Hallelujah. Or at least that's what I wanted to happen. Because after all the smoke from the explosion fades, we see this demon crouch down in his blood circle. Talking about some...
Hurts, doesn't it?
And that is when we see Asuma covered in burns as if he was the one in the explosion. Everyone's staring at the two of them, confused as to what they just witnessed. But before they could even make a hypothesis, Hidan screams out, Let's experience this ultimate pain together, shall we? Then he whips out this giant rod. Asuma assumes that he whipped out the rod to use on him, so he takes out a weapon of his own and sprints towards Hidan. But unfortunately, he misread the situation because that rod wasn't for him, it was for Hidan. Hidan then proceeds to stab his own leg without flinching, and at the same moment of contact, Asuma's legs give out, then he proceeds to kiss the ground. Now Hidan's really having fun. This psychopath is over there yelling at Asuma's body, talking about some
hurts, huh?
While laughing hysterically. Bro, listen to this man's laugh. If you ever hear someone laugh like this, please proceed with caution, cause I promise you, they got a couple screws loose. Now Izumo, Kotetsu, and Shikamaru are watching Asuma's leg bleed out while trying to figure out how he's doing this. Eventually, all four of them are able to figure out that Asuma and Hidan's body are somehow linked. Hidan points the rod right at his chest, then attempts to drive it through his heart. By the look on Asuma's face, you could tell his life was flashing before his eyes. He was completely helpless. But right before Hidan could pierce his chest, Shikamaru manages to get off his Shadow Strangle Jutsu in time, stopping Hidan from completing the devastating blow. Ooh, y'all had me sweating like I was there. Look at these niggas sweating buckets, stressed as hell.
Shikamaru gotta be one of the most clutch characters in the show, hands down.
I know their hearts are beating at 150 beats per minute. Shikamaru's now over there using every atom in his body to keep his hold on Hidan. And now they're just in a stalemate. Nobody seems to be able to come up with any ideas. That is until Kakuzu provides them with a little motivation by offering Hidan his help. When I seen this man step up to bat, I began pleading on their behalf like my life was on the line. If they're already getting cooked in a 1v4, imagine if it's a 2v4. They'd be finished. And I'm not even hating, they know it too. Look at their reaction when he attempted to join the fight. They do not want smoke. Thankfully, Hidan's overconfident self tells him to back his ugly ass up and let him handle it. Shikamaru then really starts to get in his bag and brainstorm a bit more, and after closely analyzing all of Hidan's previous moves, he finally knows how to stop him. He quickly puts his plan into action and begins to shuffle Hidan's feet out of the circle. After a bit of a struggle, he finally manages to get him out. So Asuma wastes no time testing if he's still linked to Hidan by slicing his ear open with a shuriken. And once Asuma felt that he wasn't affected by the slice, Shikamaru uses his shadow stitches to restrain him. Asuma then gets up and begins to hobble his broken self over to Hidan. Nigga was taking forever, but he hit the Terry Fox jog all the way to him.
What you want him to do, man? He got a hole through his leg.
But as much as I applaud Asuma for his determination, I couldn't help but get upset at the fact that these bums are just standing there watching him slowly walk to him. Nigga, if you don't run over there and end him, what have y'all done all fight except throw some shurikens? Uniforms in pristine condition, not a single speck of dust on it. I even tried to put some respect on y'all names by actually using your names to begin with. But let's be real, there's not one person on earth who would respond to the question, who's your favorite Naruto character? With an answer of, Yeah, mine is Izumo. He's rad. And that guy Kotetsu, they're just both pretty cool. The way they just nigga no. After taking 40 years to get to Hidan, Asuma wastes no more time and slices his head clean off. And that is when everyone begins to let their guard down. As to why they feel so comfortable with Kakuzu eyeing them down from the sidelines is beyond me, but a win is a win, I guess. I would have been slightly more amped for this small victory if it weren't for Tweedledee over here talking about some
We did it. We did it. We did it.
We?
You know what? You're not even worth the roast. The joy from the small win eventually fades and they collectively refocus their attention on their next target. But the little momentum and confidence they had left was quickly destroyed when Kakuzu said,
"If you wanted my help, Hidan, you should have asked sooner."
Then we see this man Hidan, fully conscious, yelling loud as hell as if his head isn't completely severed from his body. Now, the two of them are just casually having a conversation while the others watch. Hidan's basically begging Kakuzu to reconnect his head to his body, and eventually Kakuzu gives in. He practically teleports over to Hidan, then grips the top of his head like he's about to roll the nastiest strike I've ever seen. But as shocked as they all are, they still think they have the upper hand. Shikamaru determines that as long as Hidan's body is still separated from his head, they should be good. Now they're all plotting on a way to escape, considering the fact that Asuma looks like he just got out of a car crash and Shikamaru can barely stand. Look at him, coughing up a storm. That secondhand smoke from all them shogi games with Asuma is finally kicking in. All four of them continue to strategize until Kakuzu's finally had enough. Mid-brainstorm, he teleports to Asuma and hits him with the same lethal leg kick they hit Jaden Smith with in Karate Kid. Then he decks the cigarette fumes out of his skull with that deal or no deal ass briefcase. Asuma is clearly unable to defend himself at this point, so you'd think he'd leave him alone after those first two hits. But Kakuzu does not play with his food. 35 mil is on the line, so he's not messing around. He jumps 10 feet in the air, then proceeds to drop his knee into Asuma's spine. And now Asuma's just laid out on the ground with 12 crushed vertebrae and a leaking leg. You'd think this would be the time for the two no-names to jump in and help, but nope. They just watch this man Asuma get abused. Kakuzu then walks over to Hidan's body, stitches his head on, then returns his attention to Shikamaru and the no-names. I promise you, if Shikamaru was in any condition to fight, they would have let that nigga handle it. But both of the all-stars are out for the count, so they have no choice but to let the bench players in. Kotetsu kicks off their showdown by summoning this ugly-ass weapon. Then they both begin to charge at Kakuzu. Izumo quickly activates his water-style syrup trap jutsu, so Kakuzu jumps out the way to evade it. Kotetsu tries to catch him off guard and throws his Pokemon-looking weapon at him, so Kakuzu tries to catch it, but it weaves all of his attempts and crashes into the ground. The two simpletons really thought they got him with that elementary combo, but when the dust cleared, I was not surprised at all to see Kakuzu standing there staring at them unharmed. Kakuzu then raises his hand to deliver the final blow, but all of a sudden, Kotetsu's knockoff Pokemon comes flying out the ground behind him. He jumps to catch it, ready to smash him for real this time, so Kakuzu tries to jump out the way, but to his surprise, his feet are trapped by Uzumo's syrup. Okay, no names, I was not familiar with your game. This how you...
Yeah, they was really earning their Jonin titles today. I'll say that.
Cook right here. I'm still not letting y'all slide though. Niggas wanna wait until the last minute to show out while Asuma's already in the waiting room to meet Jesus? Nah, f outta here. Kotetsu goes in for the final blow, but Kakuzu somehow unstitches his hands and launches them at his neck. Izumo tries to fight off the second hand, slicing and dicing his way through Kakuzu's symbiote, but inevitably, the hand catches him, and now they're both getting their oxygen squeezed out of them. Now that there's no one left to intervene, Hidan walks over to Asuma, ready to blow his candle out. He raises his rod and proceeds to utter his corny villain one-liner, but right before he could throw the rod, Asuma wakes up like the Undertaker and tries to slice Hidan's face off. Within a split second, Hidan manages to throw the rod, but the rod only goes through his shoulder, which wasn't enough to finish him. So he whips out his scythe and swings it right to the back of Asuma's head. Shikamaru yells at Asuma to watch out for the scythe, but then we hear the sound of a blade piercing skin while blood splashes in the air. Now, my original guess was that Asuma was finished. That scythe clearly took his head clean off like he did to Hidan. A head for a head, a 69 if you will, but thankfully I was wrong. The camera pans down to Asuma and he still got his head on tight. It turns out he ducked right on time, and now the scythe is inches deep into Hidan's stomach. Asuma for a brief moment is very proud of himself for dodging that blow, until mid-sentence he realizes what just happened. Hidan then starts laughing hysterically, and that is when we see that this nigga is standing in the demon circle. I wanted to be mad at Asuma so bad, but this was honestly just a well thought out attack. Nigga had him beat from every angle. It was either this or the scythe carving out his his head like a pumpkin. But he really had him in checkmate. Asuma, now in severe pain, grabs his stomach and starts coughing up blood. And that's when Shikamaru gathers the little strength he has left, gets up, and starts running towards Asuma. That boy was running with Division 1 track type form, arms swinging hard as hell. But the run ends prematurely when this man falls by tripping over a rock. I know you didn't just let a rock take this nigga down while his sensei is about to get packed up. This tiny ass rock that should have caused a stumble at best, but a whole face plant? Shikamaru, you were carrying the whole first half of this fight, but you're low-key sorry for this. Now Hidan's just playing with Asuma, making him feel pain for his own pleasure. He's even jiggling the blade inside his stomach, just straight foul. He finally gets done toying with Asuma, so he raises his rod, and with no one left to intervene, he successfully drives the rod through his heart. And this is when we see our beloved Asuma collapse to the...
Honestly, I should have known that Asuma was gonna die, because they was giving Asuma so much random attention. The filler arc right before this was basically Asuma's backstory, and then like all the little stuff right before this fight, with just little cool stuff. People were talking about how helpful Asuma is to the village, by his heritage to the third Hokage. Like, we all should have known he was gonna die. Still hurt to watch.
The ground. Now, as much as I wish this wasn't the actual final blow, all of the signs were there. The classic triple instant replay, the birds flying away, and finally, a loved one getting a sense that something is wrong. I don't know what it is, but when someone special leaves this earth, niggas just somehow manage to know right when it happens. Her coochie must have started tingling or something, because she immediately looks up and calls out Asuma's name. But what made it even worse was the fact that his death was used to pleasure this sadistic, kinky psychopath. Watching your sensei's death be used as some form of a drug has to be a different type of trauma. But with a sorry squad like this and 35 mil on his head, this was your only fate. Even Doctor Strange couldn't find another reality where this wasn't the outcome, brother. You were cooked from the jump. And the worst part is Asuma couldn't even get off his dying wish, which was, and I quote, to like and subscribe to your boy. Come on now, respect the man's dying wish. Reinforcements eventually come, but it was too little too late. They tried to rush him to the Leaf Hospital, but Kakuzu refused to leave without collecting his bounty. But he was not leaving without that 35 mil. He was still throwing hands. But fortunately enough, everyone was spared from his wrath because the two of them were being summoned by their boss, forcing them to retreat for good, thus putting an end to this devastating battle. Overall, a capital S tier fight. The hand-to-hand combat, the strategizing, the banter. Ooh. Asuma and Shikamaru really gave it their all. The no-names trying to redeem themselves with that last-ditch effort to contribute. And as much as I despise Hidan and Kakuzu, I must admit that they're a duo that's not to be played. Boom! The scene kicks off with Kakashi, Ino, Choji, and Shikamaru tracking down Team 10's biggest op, Kakuzu and Hidan. As you can see, we got a much better squad on the scene this time. Much better might be a stretch, but it's an upgrade for sure. I don't know what kind of perk 50 Tsunade was on while making that C-tier 4-man squad, but she basically set them up for failure. If I was Shikamaru after that gruesome showdown, as soon as I touched back down in the league, I would have bum-rushed Tsunade's office and knocked every blonde hair follicle out her head. But instead, like the wise man he is, he put all of his energy into getting his get back. As Kakuzu and Hidan continue to walk towards the lead, Ino manages
Shikamaru came back with a vengeance too. He took on Hidan by himself. That's crazy.
Use their mind transfer jutsu on a hawk to pinpoint their exact location. And just like that, they now have the drop on the zombie combo. So Shikamaru wastes no time putting that big brain of his to use. As Kakuzu and Hidan continue to walk, Shikamaru tries to discreetly extend his shadow stitches to trap both of them. Unfortunately for Shikamaru, they immediately feel his presence and jump out the way. But as soon as they land, two paper bombs come raining down on them. Hidan blocks one with his sight, while Kakuzu blocks the other with his hardened arm. But before they could even retaliate, Shikamaru jumps in the air and throws two more paper bombs in their direction. So of course, they instinctually dodge it. But to both of their surprise, the paper bombs didn't detonate at all. And that is when they realize they've been got. Yes, sir, let's go. See, that's too easy. Now, as happy as I was watching this, I was still in no mood to celebrate. All I desperately wanted was for Shikamaru to finish the job with a quickness. But this nigga must have not learned from the last time, because homeboy hit the same cocky smirk he did when he thought he had Hidan the first time. He then jumps down and starts explaining to them how he was able to trap them by using his chakra blades and aiming it at their shadow so that it could absorb their chakra and yada yada yada. Now this is cool and all, but Shikamaru, respectfully, Shut the fuck up. We not trying to hear that, bro. You should be rearranging this man's face right about now. No long talking, just straight mink, mink, mink. This man had Osama unconscious with his booty tooted up in the air. There should be no smiling. You're not mad enough for me right now. After explaining his whole game plan, Shikamaru removes the chakra blades, then proceeds to hit Hidan with his shadow possession jutsu. He forces Hidan to walk to his site, then pick it up. Then out of nowhere, Shikamaru starts running, forcing Hidan to charge at Kakuzu with this sight. But hold up, how he go from shaking like he got Parkinson's to full on running at top speed? Every time he gets one of them in a shadow possession jutsu, it looks like he's struggling to even make them move an inch. But now he's sprinting like he's Noah Lyles? That doesn't make sense, but you know what? I'ma let it slide. After grabbing his sight and running towards Kakuzu, Hidan finally jumps up.
I just assume it's probably easier for him to move the legs than their arms and upper body. I don't know. That's the head canon that I've always ran with.
And gets ready to take off his head. But right as Hidan swings his sight, Kakuzu manages to duck out the way. Oh my lord, these niggas got a counter for everything. It turns out Kakuzu's arm is able to move independently from his body. This man hid his hand underground during the explosion, then used it to remove the chakra blade that had him stuck. Now we're stuck watching this man reconnect his nasty ass arm. Cameraman had this symbiote twerking in my face for a good 10 seconds. We did not need to see this. Shikamaru also must have been traumatized by that sight, because he wasted no time and quickly rushed at Kakuzu while rapidly swinging his sight. Kakuzu continues to dodge the blows, but his back eventually gets pinned to a tree. And that is when Captain Obesity comes crashing down on Kakuzu's head with his spiky human boulder. Choji then comes sliding out of the dust, and now they're waiting for all the debris to clear. But to absolutely nobody's surprise, that shit didn't even make a scratch. Of all the people on this squad, you must have been out of your mind if you thought it was gonna be Choji to make the first dance. Absolutely not. Now Kakuzu's explaining to them that his special ability is being able to harden his body when needed. So to put it short and sweet, physical attacks are essentially useless on him. But mid-explanation, Kakashi pulls up out of nowhere and puts a Chidori in his back. You see, this is what I'm talking about. People often underestimate the element of surprise. Stop letting these niggas get full-on TED Talks in, especially when you're working with a time-sensitive jutsu such as Shikamaru. Kakashi can see that Shikamaru's grasp on Hidan is slowly slipping away, so he knows he has to act fast. Kakuzu, with Kakashi's arm still in his chest meat, continues to grunt and moan for a bit longer until finally he drops to his knees and collapses on the ground. As big of a victory as this was, there's still no time to celebrate. Kakashi knows Hidan's also not one to mess with, so he quickly boots up his Chidori and runs towards him. But right before he could call game, this green-eyed zombie freak kicks Kakashi in his ribcage, sending him crashing into a tree. Like, how? They can't keep getting away with this. They just won't die. Kakashi
Not
just
at all.
Chidori'd this man.
Shit, they might be more immortal than Orochimaru.
And through the heart. Even had that man groaning and moaning, and you're telling me he's still alive. And to make things even worse, this man rips off his robe and reveals this ungodly build. And now the demons are trying to claw their way out of his body. Bro, look at their faces, they're traumatized. Got my man Choji in the back reconsidering his life choices. I feel him though. A sight like this would have had me passing around my resume to every shop and restaurant in the league. This shinobi lifestyle is not for me. The demons finally break free from Kakuzu's back, and now we see 4 giant black blobs posted up behind him. What the f even are these, nigga? Is that Babadook? Are those Shinigamis? What am I looking at? Shikamaru's shadow possession jutsu finally wears off, and just like that, the zombie duo now has the advantage. But to everyone's surprise, before they could even start throwing hands, the demon with the mask that Kakashi broke suddenly collapses. So now Kakashi knows how to take them down. Just as Kakashi begins to formulate a plan on how to beat this man, Hidan comes charging in at full force, swinging his scythe at him in every which way. Kakashi manages to block and evade all of his attempts to draw some blood, but that's when this Babadook comes flying in out of nowhere, then hits both Hidan and Kakashi with a wind-style pressure damage jutsu. That jutsu was so strong that it causes this huge tornado-like wind, destroying all the trees around it. But that was just the beginning. Kakuzu then uses another one of his Babadooks to boot up this nasty lightning blast, which he sends right at Shikamaru and Choji. Shikamaru tries to stop the blow, but he was just too slow. Nigga whipped out a scroll talking about some, oh no, too late. Brother, what was your plan here? Cause you were definitely watching him charge up that attack for a hot minute. You even whipped out the scroll in anticipation of the attack. So how are you too late? But you know what? I guess quick reflexes isn't really his strong suit. Right before the lightning blast could turn them into bacon, Kakashi jumps in the way and saves them from the devastating blow. I don't even gotta gas him up for real. This just what he do. It's another day in the office for real. Kakashi really the least MVP, but y'all not ready to have that conversation. My man just jumped in front of 200,000 gigawatts of lightning just to save these ninjas who aren't even his students. That's a stand-up guy right there. But you can low-key tell that he's getting a little pissed off from carrying the team now, cause Ino's ditzy self finally comes out of her hiding spot just to ask him if he's alright. So Kakashi says in the most annoyed way ever, well, I'm still standing. Now to a normal person, that answer might have not raised any red flags, but I have a keen ear for passive-aggressive undertone and sarcasm, so let me provide you with the translation. Are you alright? No, I'm not alright. You see me fighting for my life against these heathens and you over here still hiding in the trees. Pitch in. Now after a few more seconds of staring each other down, Kakazu finally breaks the silence and says, you saw through the jutsu with your Sharingan. But what about this next one? Then one of his Babadooks steps forward, opens his mouth, and begins to hit them with the most intense fire style jutsu I've ever seen. That jutsu was so strong they were too stunned to move. They eventually all managed to jump out the way and take cover, but Kakashi doesn't even get the chance to land because Hidan's already on his ass. Kakashi blocks his first swing, then the second. He dodges the third blow by jumping back, then weaves one of his kicks. Hidan tries to catch him off guard with another swing to the face, but Kakashi blocks both attempts, then jumps over the third. Now Hidan really got Kakashi on his heels. You can tell Kakashi's only priority is not to get hit with his blade. They finally separate, and that's when Hidan gives Kakashi a backhanded compliment talking about some, boy, you really are good. Yeah, he really is good, and you gonna learn today. The fuck did you think this was? You thought he was sorry? He not awesome, man. Hey, okay, alright, that was my bad. I didn't mean to disrespect it. The heated exchange comes to an end, and now Kakashi and Team 10 are all huddled up strategizing their next move. After taking into account everything that's happened so far, Shikamaru is able to conclude that Kakuzu has 5 hearts and each mask represents 1. And of course, this completely checks out, hence why the first Babadook died from the lightning blade. Kakuzu then reveals that all 5 hearts are from ninjas he's defeated, which also makes sense as to why the Babadooks have such a different yet strong chakra nature. But the conversation quickly takes a disrespectful turn when Hidan interrupts and says, you leaf ninja bury your dead or what? Knowing Kakuzu, he'll totally want us to go digging up for that cash cow of his. Now that comment specifically was enough to get all of them fuming, but Hidan didn't stop there.
He was already a downer though. Seriously, that guy with the beard went down like it was nothing, you know? You must have been his students then, huh? With a loser like that guy teaching you, you're pretty much screwed.
And that one right there really struck a chord, especially with Choji. That boy's face turned red as a tomato. He was ready to crash out for sure, but they managed to hold him back. That was until Hidan said, you're not all bent out of shape over that chump. Fatso. Oh. Hey, I can't lie, that was a good one right there. I might have to add that to the collection. Dude said,
yo, I didn't know Hidan. I forgot Hidan can instigate like that.
Bent out of shape. Get it? Because he's morbidly obese, like he not in shape. He can't run. That comment was Choji's last straw because he breaks free from Shikamaru's grasp and charges at him. Look at that boy, smiling ear to ear, getting ready to taste some of his blood. That junk probably tastes like Skittles, cupcakes, and Doritos. He can't wait. But right before he could get a sample, Shikamaru uses his shadow possession jutsu to stop him dead in his tracks. So Hidan jumps up to chop him in half, but Kakashi meets him in the air and blocks him with his kunai. So Hidan quickly kicks Kakashi to the ground, and now he shifts his focus onto Kakashi again. Shikamaru then releases his hold on Choji and chews him out for being so careless, but my attention was very much elsewhere. Peep the sound he makes when he falls to the ground after being released. Brother, how are we supposed to take you seriously and you doing shit like this? You deserve every insult that's ever been thrown at you. I just want you to know that. After briefly getting chewed out by Shikamaru, he turns around only to be met with Kakuzu's meat right in his face. So he gets up and tries to hit Kakuzu with a fat punch, but Kakuzu catches it, flings it away, punches the food particles out his mouth, gives him one to the gut, and elbows him so hard that he goes flying into a tree. Now getting done up like this was bad, but it happens to the best of Shinobi from time to time, so he could have lived that.
Naruto let that one happen, alright?
But this next
Clutch City Cluckers. Are they back in Friendswood?
I'm trying to decide between Clutch City Cluckers or Hangry Joe's. Hangry
I can't. I'm not eating it. I'll probably just get 2 smalls and eat that. Like if for you, if you wanted to use it, I'd probably just get 2 smalls. And
No,
eat
but
that.
they have a 40% off, but I have to spend $25.
Ah, that's rough.
This part proved that Choji does not have that dog in him, nor a cat. He got an obese dwarf hamster in him at best. This man Kakazu teleports in front of Choji, and once he looks up to see who's in front of him, this was his response. Are you not embarrassed? Have you no shame? Bro, look! He look like he about to piss his pants. This is beyond no aura. This man is in aura debt. He gotta file for aura bankruptcy after this. This was tragic. Shoot, almost made me stop the vid here. But you know I had to thug it out for y'all. And just for that, y'all already know what to do. Bro, you see the timestamp on this video. You know I was working double overtime in that kitchen. Run the like and hit that subscribe. Please and thank you. The cameraman then cuts back to Hidan still chasing down Kakashi, and boy is he making him sweat. Kakashi's still not even attempting to get some hits in, just straight blocks and dodges. 1 flip, 2 flip, 3 flips. This is not the Olympics. Nigga wanna be Simone Biles so bad. He eventually takes 1 huge jump to put some distance between him and Hidan, but while up there he's instantly met with a giant fireball from this Shinigami. It spams 3 more fireballs, but just like vegetables attempting to enter Choji's mouth, they all miss their target. Kakashi jumps onto another branch to try and catch his breath, but the lightning Babadook pops up behind him and tries to laser off his cheeks. Kakashi of course evades that attack too, and now he's free falling through the air. Before he could even touch the ground, the wind style Babadook comes flying in out of nowhere and starts firing off these demon breath blasts. Now I know I've had a lot to say about Danzo's old nigga hot breath jutsu before, but my mind can't even fathom what those smell like. You see the power and spice on those blows? I know that smell like some stuff I've never smelled before. Kakashi's probably out there getting a nose full of eternal damnation and tortured souls. Oh nah. Fortunately enough, Kakashi used the falling debris around him to dodge the attacks. But out of nowhere, Hidan then comes flying in to try and dig his scythe into his head, so Kakashi quickly jumped out the way. Now all the Babadooks are just punishing this man, just violating him. I mean straight raw dog, tag team, gang bang this, but somehow, some way, our MVP miraculously makes it out of the jumping alive. We then cut back to Choji getting dragged out of this circular indent he made in the tree earlier. Just look at him.
Damn, did I really forget that Choji did this dirty? I mean, I knew it was bad for Choji. I know Choji and Ino didn't put any work in, but I didn't know Choji got hands put on him this much.
Man, his limp body just lying there looking pathetic as hell. But hold up though, why is he low-key caked up? That man got yams for days. Okay, BBL Choji. Kakazu then hardens his hand and gets ready to pierce it through all 37 inches of Choji's blubber. But before he could make the incision, Ino quickly throws a kunai at him to distract him, and as soon as he dodges it, Shikamaru uses his shadow possession jutsu to try and capture him. So Kakazu turns around and starts moonwalking his way around his jutsu. The lightning Shinigami quickly rushes to Kakazu's aid by trying to strike him with lightning, but Shikamaru surprises us all and hits this clean dance revolution routine to evade all the lightning strikes. That boy did not miss a beat. I didn't even know he had those in him. While Shikamaru's still distracted, Kakazu extends his arm and grabs Ino and Choji by their neck, and now he's just slowly squeezing the life out of them, giving them that same no-name chokeout special. While they're over there struggling for air, Kakashi and Shikamaru are both just trying to stay out of the Babadook's grasp. That is until this fire style one hits Kakashi in his back, and now our goat is laid out on the branch. Hidan with his evil laugh slowly walks over to Kakashi, raises his scythe, then chops Kakashi in half. But of course, with such an easy opening, it did not surprise me at all when it turned out to be a shadow clone. Shikamaru, now activating his WIQ, decides to spin back for Ino and the plate cleaner, then proceeds to use this scroll to summon a bunch of water. Now I can't lie, I was confused watching this the first time, but then I remembered it's Shikamaru, so of course I had to let him cook. And boy did he cook up something delicious, because he ends up using Kakazu's lightning Babadook against it. See, this is why I let Mr. Big Brain cook. I just know that tight ass ponytail is improving the blood flow to his brain. You see how he used the water to help electrocute him? Because the water conducts electricity by using Darwin's, Einstein's theory, both of their theories, with a neutron and electron. Bro, real talk though, to all my science majors, wouldn't this move end up electrocuting Ino and Choji as well, since the human body can conduct electricity? But
unless Kakazu's threads are insulators, then in that case it wouldn't. Oh. Hold on a second. about to get cooked. Well, I guess that's the end of that video. Guess that's the end of that video. But I liked what I watched so far, so I'll light that up. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night here. See y'all again tomorrow.